Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Maturish Podcast. My name is Kobe.
Oh, sorry. And I'm Donovan. I'm here as well, in addition.
And happy October, everybody.
Wow.
Time has flown by. It's fluted. It has fluted. But here we are, a new month, a new week, a new episode. And today, we would like to shine light upon something that is very serious. Not that the things that we talked about aren't serious. I mean, it's big boy things.
Of course.
Growing up, college, relationships. It's all adult-ish things.
Yeah.
But for the month of October, it is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month and ADHD Awareness Month.
Wow.
There's a lot that goes on in October. And I would like to take this time to go ahead and shine light upon mental health.
Would you, Kobe?
We sure would.
Okay. That sounds good. Kobe, let me say something. Are you okay? What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong.
Okay. When you think mental health, Kobe, what do you think of?
What do I think of? I don't know. I mean, I feel like the most common mental health disease, illness, you think of is like depression. Because it's like, is all depression diagnosed? No. There are people who are undiagnosed with depression. But you know when you're sad, when you're just not feeling happy, and you know when today's rough. You know the difference. So I think, depression is the go-to that nobody's 100% happy all the time. I think something's going to happen in life, whether that's you lose a job, you lose somebody that you're really close to. Something's going to happen that's going to have you down in the dumps. And it's something everybody experiences. I'm just happy we're in a day and age now that these things are starting to be embraced, be accepted. Because a lot of things, I mean, think about it like with our parents. If you went to school talking about you were depressed, you're going to be looked at. And this is a word, talk about mental health, I'm only going to use it once. Okay? I'm going to refer to it as the C word from now on. But if you were in the 80s and the 90s going to school, oh, I'm depressed, you were going to be looked at like you were crazy. That's not a thing. Dust it off and try again. Me and my mom are just having the conversation literally yesterday that like guidance counselors today with us in high school and how we have counselors are completely different than when they were in school. With my mom in high school, she said she only seen her guidance counselor maybe twice, and all it was for was scheduling purposes. That's all it was. Here we are, we're having a guidance counselor. Are you okay today? What's going on? Your attendance is like these people. It's really starting to be taken serious as it should be.
Of course. It's just like, why? Why did it? No, that's not what I'm trying to say. Why did it take so long?
Yeah. And not just that, but not saying that like previous generations were heartless, but they definitely were not like filled with compassion at all.
They just didn't know.
They were were they tone deaf? I don't know if you can say that because look at it now. We've only gotten to a place where it took people growing up to realize that this is serious stuff. There are some people who are saying, whether it's people from like our parents' generation, that literally went to school to learn about this. Those are the people who are now the therapists, that are now the counselors, that are now, giving us, our generation, the resources that we need in order to be what they didn't have, in order to be what they didn't get to be. So I don't know why it took so long. But at the end of the day, I'm glad we're here in the time that we're here to experience the progression.
Right.
Because there's still a whole lot of things. I mean, even mental health, you can put it on the same line as like racism. These things aren't they aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Are they starting in some circles to be taken serious? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not where they should be in
Right.
terms of acceptance. Not saying racism should be accepted, anti-racism. But we still have work to do. We've made some work, and I'm glad that we're still young in a day and age where we're going to be able to live to see more work be made.
Mm-hmm. Remember, guys, mental health is racism. Thank you for letting us know, Kobe. You're just so, man, you have a way with words, don't you? Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. Because I don't even know what to say, really.
I got you.
Okay.
So let's think about it on this aspect. I'll say for the record, I have not been diagnosed with any mental illnesses.
Oh. On the other hand, me, I guess I got diagnosed with depression. I think, what was it? Severe depression, moderate anxiety.
So anything that I have experienced, it isn't clinical, but it's still an experience. I just haven't gotten to a point where I've needed quote unquote help.
Right.
But you,
I don't know if I guess maybe a year or two ago, I was feeling pretty sad, depressed, you could say. And my mom, she's a lady. She works at the place.
hey Donnell,
Hello, mother.
Miss Huggies, the goat.
Ain't she? She works at the place where they could get me into the therapist lady for free. So I was like, why not? So I gave it a try. And I would talk to her. We had like 6 sessions. A session, I can't remember, it was bi-weekly or every month, some shit like that. But yeah, we would just talk. I would tell her what's up. And then she was like, oh, take this test thing. I was like, oh, okay. So I did. And then she said, oh, this thing says you have severe depression, moderate anxiety. I never thought of myself as an anxious person. And something. So I could see where she was coming from the depression front. But from the anxiety, I don't know. I never thought of myself as an anxious person.
And that's interesting. Because us as people, we tend to keep a lot of things hidden in a box that's in our hearts, that's in our minds, that you don't know that that part of you exists. And it does. Because I feel like still some of us and a lot of people still are we don't fully know ourselves as we should. We don't understand who we are.
Right.
And I like to think that I have a good understanding of myself. Then there's things that happen that I'm like,
Right.
what are you doing? Who are you? But at the same time, I don't know. I've gone through things. I've talked about things before, and probably here in a couple minutes I'll be talking about some more. But I've never seen a therapist because to me, I don't necessarily think of therapists as a necessity.
Right.
Is that the word? Like, it's weird to me to think of a therapist as somebody who I can depend on. Like, yeah, I can trust you to give me advice because that's your job. Like, you're getting paid for it. To me, if I'm going through something and I'm feeling down in the dumps, I think I'd feel more comfortable going to you or going to, go to a friend or go to somebody. I'd rather, because, the therapist, they're going to, I guess, have some bias towards their job, I think. Because, the more they get to see you, the more money they're making.
Right.
Like, that kind of thing. You're not getting paid to be my friend. I don't
Right.
think if Christy's paying you, then hey, chase that bag. But
Sure am.
my mom's paying people to be my friend.
Please just hang out with a couple times at least.
That's all. Just 3 times a week. But no. So that's just my thing with that. I don't even. It's like finding the words to describe some things. It's kind of hard, and this is
Yeah,
one of
ain't
those
it?
things that's what it is. I don't feel like I'm a very nonchalant person. Only because the serious things, the things that can make somebody upset, the things that would make me fall into a state of depression, quote unquote, I don't acknowledge them. They don't exist to me. I'm not going to pay them any mind.
Right.
Cuz I like being happy, in the sense of not crying, in the sense of
Right.
getting out of bed in the morning, in the sense of, living life. I've never been like deeply depressed.
Right.
There's been instances where things have happened that make me think, you know, gosh, wish life was a bit better now.
Right.
Wish things could change. But I just look at it as life. Like, I know life will get better. Or that's like now. The college that I'm going to wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. But things happened that I had to suck that up. My whole senior year of high school was very stressful to me. I was hardly sleeping because I'm trying to stay up. I'm trying to work because unbeknownst to me, I wasn't about to graduate.
Right.
So like just that, for example, and we'll touch on a couple more things here in a second. That was for me, like just from August to June, I was stressing. Like I was weighing every single option of what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Because this isn't it. I almost dropped out of high school.
Right.
Like that's how, and it's crazy to like think about it now because I have my diploma. I walked across that stage. I did what I needed to do. But like that was so stressful and I wasn't receiving any help. I was going through so much that like my answer was I did not want to continue on. I wanted to drop out. I wanted to end. I wanted to stop. And I definitely had support, you could say. Nobody told me you should drop out. Nobody told me you shouldn't drop out. But what I did get was, is that what you think would be best for you? There was one person in particular who used to be a teacher at our high school, who's the mother of a teacher at our high school, who I was on the phone talking to them like, I think this is what's best for me now. I'm so close to them. I don't know what happened, truly, but I am. Those are the cards I was dealt.
Right.
And it took her saying, I'm going to be honest with you. You missed out on so much school that while you're struggling now, imagine having to go and get a GED. A GED is just a standard test, all across the board.
Right.
There's going to be things on there that she said, like, she wasn't BSing me. You're not going to know. You weren't in school to learn this. The classes you're taking are not advanced enough for you to know how to do this. So I was going to struggle more in the GED route than what I was the high school diploma route.
Right.
But when I tell you I fought tooth and nail to graduate, and it worked out in the end. So that's always my thing was today might be very rough, but it's going to work out. It's going to get better.
As it should.
So I think that's always just been my thing of if you just push on, just fight a little longer, it'll get better.
Of course. So in school, I guess that's what we're doing. It was really. I was at a point where it was like, I was sad. Yeah.
Are you saying high school? Or are you?
Yeah. It was just like every day was just sad. I was just like, I just wasn't feeling it. It was to a point where like I didn't really talk to many people. I didn't do stuff, so I just wanted to be at home.
Yeah. I mean, and like we've talked about this. Look back at to like how close, quote unquote, we were in high school.
Mm-hmm.
At the end there, we had the same friend group. I hung out with each of them. Would FaceTime each of them. Was doing things with each of them. Me and you never did anything.
Mm-mm.
Like, not saying like, oh, that's my fault. That's your fault. But you were very standoff-ish.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't really want to do stuff because being at home was where I like felt safe, I guess. And it was like, because I've been sad for as long as I can remember. And it was like to a point, it was just like being sad was where I was safe.
Was normal.
Where I was just by myself,
Mm-hmm.
in the corner listening to my music, just doing my thing. But then, I don't know. It was just like a switch. Now I'm different. Because I guess, like in high school, I was really like insecure. Like hella.
About?
Lots of shit. Like, I don't look the best. I'm not the tallest.
Right.
I'm not doing shit,
Okay.
I was just really like insecure about everything. But then I don't know. Now I'm just like, I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, I know I'm beautiful, of course. I've come to terms with the fact that I am 5 feet tall.
Yes.
I'm okay with that now.
Right.
No, I don't know. It's just like, I've just lost that. I don't know. I just don't care about anything anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that I do.
That you don't?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know. Like for me, I've never, I don't know if you would call them insecurities, but there are times where like the first thing that comes to mind is coming back to school sophomore year. It was 2 big things. One, freshman year of high school, all of my peers were at school 5 days a week, from 8:30 in the morning to 3:30. They were getting an education. Mm-hmm. I had 2 teachers, an English teacher and a math teacher, coming to my house for an hour 2 times a week. I did not get the same education they got freshman year. Like, point, period, blank. As far as I didn't get as far as everybody else got. So sophomore year, I was like, oh, what if I'm like stupid? Like, what if you're just not ready? Mm-hmm. And then things happened that I wasn't able to be at school sometimes, and I failed classes. Mm-hmm. So then it's like, it's like, oh, you weren't ready. And it's not like, oh, you're stupid. It's just, I realized like everything was so hard. And then and then it was the whole wheelchair thing. Right. Now I've gotten to a point where it's like, I can joke about it. I can talk about it. Going into a sophomore year, I was truly hoping that it was like, what if people don't even notice? Mm-hmm. How people were going to notice? I don't know.
Hey, guys.
There's 270-ish kids that went to our school. One of them, absolutely one of them, required assistance in that way, in terms of physically being handicapped. How I thought I was going to blend in, I have no clue.
I can just imagine. Hold on. We're having an assembly. Everyone, we have a couple words from Kobe Williams.
Yes.
Kobe.
Here's a story.
Okay.
So, the very first assembly that we went to.
Dude.
Do you remember this? Yes. You know what I'm about to say?
That is hilarious.
Okay. I don't.
Oh my god.
I don't remember this fully, nor was I trying to be funny. So it was an award ceremony, you know. Good job, guys, on your NWEA test. Good job, guys, on your standardized testing.
Mm-hmm.
So I get called, and I get in my wheelchair, and I go and I shake hands with principals, with executive directors. And I wasn't, anytime you see me walking in high school, standing up, I was not supposed to be doing it.
Right.
I was a liability.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime I was not sitting down, I was like breaking an unwritten contract between me and the school.
Right.
That's if I was sharpening a pencil standing up. Anything, I should have been doing it, quote unquote.
Right.
Anyways, I'll touch on that in a minute. I received my certificate, and I wheel past far enough so, like, the principals aren't looking at me, and I just stand up. And I go to walk over there to get my picture taken.
Right.
I stood up, and the gym gasped.
Yes. Bro.
It was utter shock from the freshmen to the seniors. I mean, like, yeah, sophomores knew, like, yeah, Kobe, whatever. But nobody else knew. You guys didn't know. The older kids didn't know. The freshmen didn't know. And I didn't think of it like that. Like, oh, I'm just about to get my picture taken. Let me stand up and get my picture taken. The shock as I'm standing up, everybody gasps, so it scares me.
Right.
I look, and everybody's just wide-eyed. People didn't think I could walk.
Because you said you rolled yourself up there, right?
Yeah.
I just don't... Hold on. If you're using your legs to go up there...
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you be able to...
I never had a wheelchair that I was using my hands to... I guess, I don't know what it was. Logically, I don't know, because I wasn't one of you guys. I don't know.
I'm different.
I don't know it from you guys' perspective. I'm just thinking, I'm about to take a picture. I know I can stand up. Let me stand up and take my picture. People who genuinely thought I could not walk. It was like paralleled with the second coming of Jesus.
Yes.
Never seen a thing like that before. But I guess, could you imagine being in that situation where you truly think somebody is like severely crippled? Every time you see them, they're in a wheelchair. Somebody's carrying their books for them. And then now they're walking across the gym.
That's just dumb.
Yeah. So it was fun in the moment. And then I get home and I check Snapchat and people are making jokes.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh. And it's still seared into my... Today, I find it funny. Today, I laugh.
It's traumatizing.
Sophomore year,
oh, no.
Seeing that, that was my first heartbreak. The caption
That's horrible.
was Kobe receiving his certificate today.
Dude.
The picture is Joe Swanson when he got his new legs walking away from his wheelchair.
That is horrible.
I guess because I didn't think like, oh, people are generally going to think like I'm paralyzed.
Because you're using your legs.
Yeah,
to move
I was.
around.
Yeah. And then like if you guys would come into my classroom, you'd see that I'm sitting in a desk. Like the wheelchair is in the back of the classroom. Right. Nobody was really fully paying attention until that day. And I'm like, Joe Swanson?
Because, like, when that happened, I was just sitting there. I was like, what's everyone so surprised about?
Yes.
I wasn't really comprehending. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Obviously.
But it was silent. Like, people were genuinely shocked. And I was just so confused.
I was too.
Like, what happened? I'm looking around.
What the fuck?
I'm looking around, trying to see what people are looking at. And it's me.
Everybody's staring at you.
And it's me. And it's like, I didn't even do it. They're still calling names. Like Star. Alicia was after me just because of, no, she was before me, but she didn't get up until after me. Whatever the case was, they call Star's name next and nobody's clapping.
Just,
That's because what is going on in front? What
that's crazy.
parallel universe did he just roll into that he can now walk? At the time, for things like that to happen, I was like, I didn't think like people truly noticed. So when like people drew attention to it, I was like, oh no, oh no.
That just shows you the intelligence level of that school.
Yeah, I was Joe Swanson.
Yep.
So that was. I mean, it's like I said, it's funny now. But at the time, like I was like, oh no.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it's just things that are so traumatizing. I'm just glad I can joke about those things now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And that's what I.
Real quick, before I forget, I remember in middle school, we were all sitting at the table.
Who is we all?
I don't know, it was me and a group of guys, whoever I was with. And then, like, it was like silent lunch, I think.
Oh yeah, because we didn't have not silent lunch.
Right. And then we're all just sitting there. And the people behind us were talking about, like, us that were in front of them. And then they were all just, like, talking, like, oh, he looked like this, he looked like this. And I was like, oh, I hope they, please don't say anything about me. And I hear, because in middle school, I always had middle school through high school, this afro. And then I just hear this Norbit ass nigga. And it's just like I was so insecure about how I looked. I just wanted to end myself in that moment. Just whenever. I just couldn't. Because why would you say that about somebody else? That's so rude. Why would you do that to me? I didn't say anything. I'm just sitting here. I didn't do anything.
I wasn't even laughing at you guys.
Look, and then when that happened, like whenever they're at the table, just doing the thing that guys do, making fun of each other. I would never laugh.
No, because as soon as you heard that, I know he ain't over here laughing. No,
I'm sorry.
No, I'd leave.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're right. He isn't. So yeah, very much like I was about to say. It's very much a laugh to keep from crying thing.
I would just cry.
No, yeah, you're still crying.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna cry either way, I guess.
Yeah. It was something that like it never fully went away. I mean, like still today, it's still very much there, only because it's not solved. It's not, it's still going to be a part of who I am. But at the same time, it's more so like it's there, Ha 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 ha. It's there. So before people can crack their Joe Swanson jokes, I make them.
There you go.
I make them myself.
As you should.
And instead of you guys getting the ha ha reactions, I get them. 40 plus ha ha reactions on Facebook. It's like, yeah, I know I'm that lame, but that's my crowning achievement on Facebook.
Right.
The thing that's gotten the most laugh from me was a post that I shared on Facebook. The post was, be honest, could you date somebody that was in a wheelchair? I said no, so we could both be rolling around. People are laughing.
Right.
If somebody else would have said that, are they laughing at you or are they laughing with you?
Most
if it's
likely
me,
at you.
if I'm laughing, you guys are laughing. Yeah, you guys are laughing with me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what it is. But aside from that, I'd like to talk about something a little more serious,
Okay.
a little less lighthearted. Have you experienced any losses in your life that have taken a toll on you?
No. I haven't, fortunately, experienced that yet. I've lost family members, of course. Everybody has.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, none of them has really been like, oh, Oh, they've always been, oh, well,
Huh.
see you later, I guess.
Right.
What about you, Kobe?
Yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, and not thankfully that these people are gone, but thankfully the big losses from my family happened before I was born.
So everyone else is...
So, like, for example, my grandmother had a brother. His name was PJ, Uncle PJ. Hey.
Hello.
Who passed away in like 95. Him and two cousins of theirs, they took my great grandmother's car, and it was January, and they went into a ditch and drowned and hypothermia freeze. They died, all three of them together. So that was very traumatic to my family. And they were all young kids. Uncle PJ was only 16.
Of course.
And so they were all around that age group. So not only did they lose like their child, but they all lost somebody together. It was 3 kids from the same family. So like still today, my grandmother cries, my uncle cries. My mom wasn't here. She didn't grow up here around these people, so it doesn't affect her as hard as everybody else. Right. But like these are things that still hit people hard. I wasn't born yet. Then after I was born, there's been 3 big losses, I could say. The 2 were my great grandmothers. My mom's grandmothers died within the same month, within 11 days of each other. That was in January of 2006. I was born in November of 2002. I was, 2? Kylie's younger. So, my grandmother's family was upset.
You were born in 2002.
Yeah.
They died in 2006, you said?
Yep.
So you were 2 years old? Okay.
Yep.
I was making sure.
Yeah. What was I saying? No, that's not right. I was 3. Anyways.
Right, my bad.
So I was 3. Kylie's younger than that. Still, it hits my family hard. That was my grandmother's mom. Then my mom lost both of her grandmothers back to back. Hits them very hard.
Of course.
And it's like, I don't remember these people.
Right.
Every once in a while, they'll be telling a story. And it's like, oh yeah, that happened after you were born, Kobe. Do you remember that? Nope. But in high school, I think, this is 3 years ago? It was sophomore year of high school. My grandmother, my father's mom, passed away. And me and Kylie didn't even know she was sick. So, and yes, we knew she was sick because she had gotten sick when we were still around. But we didn't know how bad it had gotten, whatever. It was a Sunday, and my dad calls me out the blue. And he's like, hey, I just thought, I'd call you. Your granny's not doing very well. If you guys want to see her one last time, I think you guys should get to the house. I'm thinking what do you mean? And as I'm responding, he hangs up.
Thanks, Dad.
I'm like, okay. So I went and I get my mom and I go and get Kylie. And it's like, well, what do we do? Kind of thing. And she was like, well, what did he say? He said she's at the house. Did that mean his house? Did that mean her house? They were at my grandmother's house. So we go in there. And she's in this hospital bed inside of her bedroom. And it's like, that woman that was in that hospital bed was my grandmother, but that wasn't my granny.
Of course.
She was always a bigger woman, maybe 90 pounds laying there. Can't open her eyes, can't speak.
Right.
And it didn't hit me at all. Kylie was a mess right there.
Right.
It didn't hit me until the funeral. But that's because things kept building up. She died on Wednesday. So that was Sunday. She dies Wednesday. at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my father was there, my aunt was there, the family was there except for us. We didn't know.
Right.
We found out through Facebook, through an ex of my father's,
Of course.
that prayers to him, uh, his mother is officially an angel as of today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see it on Facebook. Kylie seen it
Right.
because we're friends with her on Facebook. We were in mentoring. I'm in Mrs. Townsend's classroom, you know, sitting around the table. It's like me, Nathaniel, Darius. It's us. And there's a knock at the door. And I just because of how close I am to the door, I just, you know, wheel over there and I go and open the door. And Kylie's just bawling. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right.
And she's trying to talk, but the words aren't coming out. So Townsend obviously hears. So she's like, we step in the hallway. And Kylie just shows me her phone. And I'm like, my grandmother just died.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. It didn't hit me until getting to the funeral and looking and seeing her in that casket. The only thing that bothered me was we weren't there. Everybody got a chance to say goodbye. Everybody got a chance to have a last conversation with her.
Mm-hmm.
People were there as she was getting sick. People were there when she was still in her right mind, able to speak to her. We weren't.
Right.
We didn't get a chance to sit down and have another conversation, to sit down and say, I love you one last time. And not only did we not get to, the hard thing about death is now you'll never be able to.
Right.
So I was 16. It doesn't necessarily bother me today because, and this is, it's not like thankfully I wasn't close to her. It was just a happening of circumstance that we weren't around her. But I don't know how I'll take it when, like, one of my other grandmothers pass away,
Right.
or my mom, or, you know, when these things happen, only Lord knows how that's gonna go.
Right.
But that's really been the only thing that's happened to me that it was like, wow. Going and then, like, when they closed the casket, like watching the casket close and knowing that once it closed, that was the last time I was going to be able to, like, ever see her face.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. It's like, it's not fun. It's not, but I'm so thankful that I'm 18 years old and that's the only thing I've had.
Right.
You know, rest of my grandparents are okay. My mom's all right. You know, everybody's okay. My cousins are okay. Everything happened either before me or right after I was born. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I've never really had that. Good for me, I guess.
yeah.
I remember 3 people. Deaths in my family. My grandfather, my great-grandmother, and my great-uncle. I think first was my great-uncle. We was somewhere. I think we're at my aunt's house or something, maybe. My mom busts through the door. She says, she took my grandma, she said, come with me. They go into the bedroom. We just hear them start bawling.
The both of them.
Yes. I was like, I'm just sitting there, oh, okay. And they walk out, and I was like, what happened? Or something. They was like, Uncle Clarence just died. He had a heart attack. I was like, oh. Oh, R.I.P. Uncle Clarence.
Yeah.
Because he lives, like, what, Mississippi or some shit.
Mm.
So I was like, oh?
Yeah.
Hmm. And then who next? My grandfather. I didn't really spend too much time with him either. My dad's dad.
Mm-hmm.
I have one memory that I remember with him. I was maybe in like elementary school or something. And I went bowling with him.
Oh.
That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how they told me. I remember he's dead. I went to his funeral. But then it was like, everyone's crying. It's a funeral, you're gonna cry.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like, I wasn't crying because my grandfather died. I was crying because all my people, oh, TT sad.
Right.
Grandma sad.
Right.
No, I never really felt like, you know.
And I think that's exactly what it was for me. Was it the fact that she died? Because my cousin, she's like 30 something. I only have one first cousin on my dad's side, and she's older. And then I only have one on my mom's side, Parker. He's 9. So, like, they're both drastically different. But her, like, she was there when she was sick. So she knew it was happening. Right. So, was it sad when she died? Yes, but you guys knew. Same with him. He didn't cry at the funeral. My father did not cry at the funeral. Right. My father showed up late to the funeral. There was just everything happening, how it happened, how we found out that she was dying, how we found out she died. We show up to the funeral home, or the church, at 9 o'clock, because that's when it was like the visitations at 9, funerals at 10. Everybody's coming up to us at the church. Where's your dad at? I was. Your guess is probably better than mine. Right. Everybody's coming up. They're talking about whatever, and somebody finally knew. It was like, oh well, we heard the family was meeting up at Rose's. That's my aunt's house. They're meeting up at Rose's house. Oh, they had. I don't know what they did. If they had breakfast, or everybody was just meeting up and riding together. They all show up, and then they're all wearing purple. I guess that was her favorite color. I didn't know. Hadn't seen her in 5 years. Right. Nobody. We found out where the funeral was through the obituary. We didn't get a text message saying her funeral's here. Nobody said the family's wearing this color, come in purple. Right. Nobody. None of this stuff. I wore black, and I want to say Kylie had like yellow on. So we like stuck out when everybody's wearing purple, and then it's just us. So it's like sad how it happened. Had we have been there and like as she was dying, oh, she's dying tomorrow. Right. Then you can cope with that differently. But with us, it was all like bam, 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 bam. She's dying. She died. Then you get told things. You don't get told things. We find out through other sources. So I don't know if it was the death or more so dealing with the aftermath of it that really weighed on me. But it's just like, dang. Can I please just have like eternal the rest of my grandparents? Everybody else lived longer than me. You guys deal with my death. I don't want to deal with yours. Of course. Dang it, they were almost able to. Right. No, but so yeah, that's really it. Besides like the senior year stuff and stuff with my granny, I think that's really it. Because once again, I'm so nonchalant with everything. Insecurities, yeah, there are some. I'll be 20 years old next year. I don't drive. I can't drive. I can't, whatever, yada, 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 yada. At times, I don't care. Because I know, like, oh, there's you. There's Kylie. There, whatever. I have people. I know I can get to where I need to be when I need to be there. But at the same time, Kylie's younger than me. Me and you are the same age. Y'all are able to just go to work. Y'all are able to just live life. I always have to depend on somebody. So at times it's like, gosh, hopefully this changes one day, and it will. There's things we can use. There's things we can do. And we will, but it's just everything's happening so late for me. I feel like I'm so far behind everybody. And that gets kind of rough sometimes. Right. But at the same time, it happened to the right person because I'm able to deal with it. I don't think Kylie would be able to handle it, or you or anybody. Just happened to the right person. I was able to take these cards and I don't cry. I don't, whatever. It's just, it's reality. You deal with it and things will come of it. That's all there is to it. For me.
Right. What was I going to say? Oh, sure. My great-grandma. Last story about dead people. She's always been around. Like, I remember she would get up at church. Oh, look at Granny go. She's getting up and about. Look at her. Good job. But then she's not at church anymore. She's at the home.
The nursing home?
Yeah. Just in the bed. And then whenever, like, we always went to see her. Whenever we did. It wasn't like, oh, yay, Granny. It was like, everyone, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go see Granny. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, hey, Granny.
Yeah.
And, like, seeing her, and, like, as I got older, and she got older, too, there was more, like, I would realize, like, if there was anybody that I could have met, like, in their prime of their life, it would be her.
Yeah.
Because she was, like,
yeah.
She was cool as hell.
Yeah.
But then it was, like, I think it was some morning. Well, it was like, oh, Granny's not doing too well. She's, you know. And then my mom finally got the news, oh, Granny's dead. It was just like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing. And it's like, when I say I don't want to live to be old, it's not like, oh, I'm going to kill myself tomorrow. No, I'm very as unsuicidal as it gets.
Oh, I would.
Hashtag anti-suicide.
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Over here, hashtag pro-suicide.
Are you a pro-lifer or anti-lifer?
Anti-life. Anti-life.
No, I don't want to live to be old because as hard as it is for us to see that old person in a nursing home, to see that old person on their deathbed, imagine what it's like to be that person.
Yep.
Imagine what it's like it's like 1 week, you're up, you're dancing at church, you're up, you're doing whatever, and literally life, you're just old, literally, and now you can't get out of bed. Now you're in a nursing home. Now you can't feed yourself. Now you can't, it's almost like inhumane. Like, I would not want to live like that. So it's when it's like, oh, I don't want to live old. If I can be functioning at 95 years old, let me be 95.
Hell yeah.
But I don't want to be 80 and no teeth in my mouth.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
no speck of hair on my head.
Once there's a point where I have to be taken care of.
Exactly that.
Again.
Right.
Yeah. Take me out.
My diapers got changed 18 years ago. If I'm wearing diapers again and I'm getting changed, I don't know.
I'd rather change myself.
Yeah, I like taking care of myself, bathing myself, dressing myself. I don't want to have to sit here and, okay, Kobe, put your leg in. We're putting on your pants. All right, your other leg. Good job. Right. No. That feels, it's like once you get to be an old person, you're almost treated like a child again. All right, lights out. It's 8 o'clock.
Life sure is a cycle.
Yeah, it is. If I can just halfway. I don't want to do that full circle. Take me halfway. I was a baby once. I don't need to be a baby again.
Right. This is I just.
Yeah, it wouldn't be fun. I don't want to live life if I'm not living life.
Right. There you go.
I don't think y'all heard me. Go
ahead.
Hold on. I said, I don't want to live life if I'm not living it.
Right. Because laying there, just watching TV all day.
Yeah. And people are sad around you. Because it's like, you're coming up to see me and that's not the grandpa that you know. So it's sad.
Right.
People are crying around you.
Yeah.
Guys, be happy. I want to make you guys laugh. I don't want you guys to be crying in my presence. So it's just
what did I do?
I'm just laying here and everybody's standing around me bawling.
Stop coming to see me, man.
Y'all are really making me.
Let me watch my Wheel of Fortune in peace. Damn.
Nurse, don't let her come back.
I don't know that lady.
Dad, what? No, it's just, I don't know. Death is just so scary to think about for me.
It's not for me.
I feel like I've said that before on here, and I'll say it again. It's just because I was already there. Not there, but I was there enough to be there. It's just, I don't want to think about it. Just because you don't know how it's going to happen. You know, we could... Oh, it's Tina and Odetta time car accident. There's the both of us. You know, it's summertime. Oh, I feel like swimming today. You drown. Like, literally anything.
It's time to brush your teeth.
We're going to eat after this. It's time to... I choke to death. Like, you absolutely never know. Not saying, like, I want cancer.
Oh?
If I want to know how I'm going to die. To where if I get a condition where it's like, okay, Kobe, you have 8 weeks to live. I want to make those 8 weeks the best 8 weeks I lived, period. I just don't want to, I don't want to die when there's still a story to be told.
I've always thought about that. Like, if I had cancer, I wouldn't, like, if there's something like, oh, it's bad, but we can help you. Nah, just let it do it. Just let it do its thing. Just let me know how much I got.
Right. Especially if I don't want to, and it's kind of funny because the life I'm living now isn't the life I'd be living had things not have happened. But I don't want to have to live a life where I'm like, permanently required to use a wheelchair.
Right.
Where I require assistance. If I'm not able to fend for myself, I don't want to fend at all.
Right.
Like none of it. Like,
of course, right.
Being an adult sounds fun, but being old doesn't. And it's, I don't know. It's just, it's not for me.
It's just not. I don't know. We can never know.
No.
Until we're there.
Yeah, you don't know until you're there. And it's so sad because it's like, just look at it like us. One day, one of us is going to die. The other one is left without. I don't want to think like that. Like, my mom only had 2 kids. One of us is going to die. Then the other one was out their brother or their sister.
Right.
You know, when your parent dies, you only have one mom.
Right.
You might have step parents, you might have whatever, but you were birthed by one woman. You know, your father is your father. When you lose them, yeah, you have a stepmom, but your mom is gone.
Right.
Your dad is gone. Yeah, you have a stepfather, that kind of thing. So it's so sad, everything that deals with it. If my death is what affects people, I'd rather have that than people's deaths affect me.
And that's why I was saying, like, the sibling thing. Because, like, that's why I want to have, like, a couple more children. Because, like, once gone, you have more. Is that not... Oh.
That's not at all right. That's not at all right. So I'm thinking the logical thing is here... Oh, I see why you went and seen that therapist. That is cold. So here's what I'm thinking you're gonna say.
Oh, go ahead.
This is why I want to have a few kids. Because when something happens to me, they'll have each other to depend on.
Oh, sure.
No. This is how selfish you are. Let me have 3 kids, so if something happens to that one, I still have 2 more.
I mean, I got other siblings.
I'll just make another one. What?
My body's still right.
Yeah. Good God. Wow. I do think it's important, though.
Yeah.
Let's get back serious.
Sorry.
To tie things up here, that everybody has somebody to talk to. Nobody around me has ever been suicidal. Nobody around me has killed themselves, okay? Nobody around me has killed themselves. But people around me have been suicidal. A conversation I had with a friend, and not that one. This is somebody else where they tried to kill themselves more than once. And it's like, me as a friend, it was like, why? Why did you not, can you not text me? Can you not, why don't you feel like you have to still be alive?
Right.
You don't know what people are going through to where you might not be able to help them. But at the end of the day, like anything, you can get through anything. If you just need people around you to support you, to uplift you. And people don't look at it that way. Some people just think, it's my time, I need to go now.
Right.
And it's so sad. I couldn't imagine, like, not saying that it's a burden, but like how that would affect other people. How that would make me feel if you killed yourself. Like, wow, was I not a good friend? As much as, we talked every day, we're seeing each other, whatever, did I need to do more? There's so many questions that come with things like that it's just, gosh, I'm the reason why he killed himself.
Well, let me tell you guys. Here's my story. When I do inevitably kill myself, everybody, you guys were great. Good on you. Donnell, I love you. Dad, you did a great job. Kobe, you're so awesome.
All right.
Everybody else, it's not your fault. I just hated being alive. I just don't want to do it anymore.
All right.
And there's
Thank
also,
you for putting your Hannah Baker tape onto our podcast.
And like you said, because you said you were like scared
of
like death, or
yes,
because you've already somebody experienced it.
Right.
Like, I'm ready. I just want to know, like, what's there.
See, I don't know. Is it for me the fact that I experienced it? It's not like I died and then was like, oh, okay, and then just moved on. No, I died and instantly was forced to become a different person. So I think more so, it's more like I don't want to have to go through all of that again.
Right.
Not saying it would happen. You might have a near-death experience. You just wake up perfectly fine. That wasn't the case for me. So that's the scary thought of it, is like, not death, but what if you cheat death and then now would I rather be dead or would I rather be permanently paralyzed? Like, what's really the greener side of things in that?
Right.
Or even the having to restart. Having to restart at 14 years old wasn't fun. I couldn't imagine doing it at 30. Having kids and you changed their diapers, now they're changing yours.
Yeah.
No, that's just not for me. It's not for anybody, but that's how life is. It's going to happen at some point, and you can't always be ready.
Right.
But I want to be ready. I'm going to be ready.
Of course.
If I start to die, stop it.
Yep.
If my breaths are becoming too far in between, just immediately give me CPR.
Where's my gun? No! Oh, sorry.
No. All right. I'm trying to prolong my life.
He's losing it.
Good God. Let me send him to glory.
I got you, buddy.
Not only am I dead, but now you're in prison.
Did you guys even listen to Maturish episode or whatever this is?
This is 6. This is 6. So, anyways, to tie things up here, because I'm pretty sure I said that we were going to do that 5 minutes ago. And in those 5 minutes, we've discovered that I'm deathly afraid of death. And if I ever start to pass away and around Donovan,
keep me far away from
he
him.
will fast forward me to heaven.
I got you. I'm here for you.
Please don't be. Next week, Maturish, it will be me and a new co-host.
That's fine.
But on a serious note, know that there is help. You're never truly 100% alone.
Nope.
At times, it's definitely going to feel that way. But today might be dark. Today might be cloudy. But there's going to be sun eventually. The sun will rise. Just wait. Are there going to be days where you're just staying in bed, you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink, you just want to sleep? Do that.
Right.
But don't do anything that not only will affect you, but everything you do also has an effect on other people.
Mm-hmm.
Don't pull a gun out on your friend because he's just sleeping.
I'm just
Okay.
I've been waiting.
If you need a friend, if you need somebody to talk to, you just need to feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Kobe will be there for you. Please DM him. I don't think you guys would want my advice or help.
You can find me on Instagram, on Twitter, Clubhouse. I'm everywhere.
Right.
At Kobe Who Else. Snapchat is that Kobe524. Donovan's around. If you go through me and you absolutely 100% need him and not me, I'm sorry I'm that bad. But I'll help you get to him, okay? And, of course, there's the both of us together. There's YouTube. Please subscribe, guys.
Please. Help us.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram. Like the Facebook page. They're everywhere.
Yes, indeed.
You can either find us, if there's a username, it's most likely _KD Productions. Nope. _KD Productions _
Yeah, you said it right.
Right. I don't know why. Or if there's just a name there being Facebook or YouTube, that would be K_D Productions. That's where I be.
Right.
That's where the D be.
Hello.
So from K and D,
That's me.
I hope you be amazing. Know there's a light at the end of every tunnel. And guys, if I've been able to do it, imagine what you could do.
You're great.
It's the truth. I love you.
I love you.
Thank
guys
you for
too.
tuning in. This is 6. We've done 6 of these mother truckers.
Wow.
Yes. It's been a ride.
Sure has.
Happy October, everybody.
Yep. Happy Halloween.
Yes, it's spooky season officially. I'm ready.
I am too.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to go trick or
We
treat.
got some stuff coming up, y'all. Be ready. Anyways, I'm Kobe,
I'm Donovan.
and this is and was the Maturish Podcast.
Bye.